Hey, it's Tasha, the founder of Berry Fit. I wanted to do a training with you all on MyFitnessPal, as I think it's one of the most beneficial applications that you can use in your weight loss journey, and even past that, from a habit-based coaching perspective. I find that logging your foods and keeping a food diary is essential for long-term success. So what I want to do is I want to cover MyFitnessPal in depth with you and just kind of go over the most important benefits that are offered and the most important features that are offered through MyFitnessPal. So you guys can see right here, I have MyFitnessPal pulled up on my laptop and we're set on my home page. And I'm just going to go through some of these tabs with you, the ones that I think are the most beneficial and that would benefit you the most, okay? So as you guys can see from my home tab right here, I have home, goals, check-in, mail, my profile, my blog, friends, or settings, okay? So if we just go to the home button, that is this screen right here, okay? And from this screen, it gives you a snapshot of where I'm sitting at for the day. So for the day, you can see that I've lost 123 pounds. I could add in my weight if I wanted to from this screen. You can see how many calories I have remaining for the day. I can change it, and this will take me to my diary. You can see that my goal is 1,658. I ate 1,259. I have 399 remaining for the night. From this screen, I can also add in my exercise or add in food. So this is just a really quick go-to screen that you can get to the most important features on MyFitnessPal. And from here, you can see the recent forum topics, Hello Healthy, which is the blog, the health blog through MyFitnessPal, their most popular blog post. So I do encourage you guys to get in here and to read this because MyFitnessPal does put out a lot of good quality information. The next section under my home is my goals. So this is where I can input my macronutrients. So at BerryFit, berryfit.com, we do macro diet. So we set our goals according to where we are in our journey and what our goals are for the future. So I set up the calories, the carbohydrates, the fats, the proteins, and this is where you can go into MyFitnessPal and add them in. So if I wanted to, I could go in here and edit this and I could put in my own goals. So I have the premium version, so I can set my goals by percentage or by grams. At BerryFit, we set everything up to grams, so it is very specific. The problem with setting things to percentages is if you don't have your calorie range figured out correctly, then your goals are going to be off, right? So if you wanted to set this by percentage, you would have to put in your calorie range, so you would need to know that. Then you could set them by percentage. But if you don't know what this calorie range could be, then and you set this by percentages, then your macronutrient requirements is going to be off. This is the essence of macro dieting. The essence of macro dieting is to adhere to your goals. So no matter what your calorie range is or what your percentage range is, if you are inconsistent in hitting these goals, then it doesn't really matter, right? So you would want to be very specific. If you set this up to 1,000 calories and you set up your percentages to say 40% protein, 25% fat, and 35% carb, you want to be consistent in hitting these grams or these goals. So you want to be within plus or minus 10 of protein and carbohydrates and plus or minus 5 of fats. That is how you truly macro diet. If you are saying, okay, my calories are 1,000, but today I hit 700 and the next day I hit 1,200, then 1,300, and then I hit 700 again, you are in essence not following your plan, and you would have no idea of where to adjust at because it's all over the place. So you can see right now my goals are set to 40% protein, 25% fat, 35% carbs, but they change often. For instance, I get one refeed day a week where I have higher calories and my calories jump up to 2018, but my carbs are 45%, so they change. My fats are 22 and my protein is 32. So my ranges do change every so often. But I am very particular in hitting these plus or minus 10 for protein and carbohydrates or 5 for fats. Okay? If I go to the check-in tab, this is where I can record my weight or my measurement. So this is a really important feature for you guys. So instead of using other applications to record your weight, I would consolidate it and use MyFitnessPal to record everything. So you can record your weight, you can record your body measurements. Not a lot of people know that this exists. So you can do it on your computer or via the mobile application. Here's your mail feature that's through MyFitnessPal. So when people message you, it goes to your mail, so you could read those. Access to your profile page. So if you wanted to edit it, you could. So you can see there is my profile page. So my username, 39 years old, female. I live in North Idaho. My little slogan, it's all about the macros. So the essence of BerryFit and why we were founded. You can read a little bit about me. The website is here, why I want to get in shape, my inspirations, and then, of course, my friends. And then you can view my blog. So if I wanted to, here's my FitnessPal blog. So I could create blog entries, but I do not blog in my FitnessPal. But if you chose to, you could. All of my friends, and then of course settings. Okay, so settings, a lot of these different tabs, their settings features overlaps and basically brings you here. So from your settings feature, you can access your subscription settings, your password, your email address, email preferences, username, time zone. But a really important one that I like to point out is your diary settings. So you could come here to your diary settings, and I will cover this in a minute. You could change how your diary looks, right? So this is a really cool one because this is how I named my meal names. Meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you could change this to breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack 1, 2, and 3. So that's a really important feature that I'm going to actually cover under food. But I just wanted to point it out to you, okay? So that is everything under the My Homes tab. So now if I get to food, this is where you guys are going to journal. So this will look a lot like your cell phone, right? Where you're just going to add in your food. And so you would search the database, or your recent foods would pop up, or your frequent foods, my foods, which I'm going to go over here in just a second, your meals or your recipes. So this is probably one of the most important tabs in here as well, because this is your database. So when I look at a database, I look at the quality of information that you put in is going to give you the quality of information that you get back. And by getting back, I mean via the scale, right? So when you go to weigh in weekly, what you are putting in to your mouth is the same as what you're putting into your database, which is the same as the output that you're given back on the scale, whether you lose or you gain weight or you maintain. So you guys got to look at this, that this is your database. So garbage in, garbage out. If you keep a clean database, then you know how to periodically adjust your diet to your goals at that moment in time. So if you're not keeping an accurate database, and by database I mean food log, then you really don't know what you're consuming every day, and you don't know how to adjust things because there is no accuracy. So you need to maintain the database for long-term success, which is what we believe in at BerryFit, that this is in essence the long-term success for a bariatric patient to keep their weight off. So I'm going to go back to my food diary. So here's a couple things that I want to point out to you. So you can change your dates here. So if I wanted a future log food for tomorrow, I could. I could just pre-log all my foods in. Maybe I eat the same first 3 or 4 meals every day, 7 days a week, or at least 5 days a week. I could pre-log in the meals so that every day it kind of just eases up a little bit of the workload on me from entering my meals. Or the couple features that I want to point out here is you add your food, but the quick tools. So a lot of people really don't utilize the quick tools feature. The quick tools, you can quickly add your calories. So maybe you're adding something in that you don't want in your database. It's something that you kind of one and done, don't really eat it that much. You could just go in there and quick add in your calories, carbohydrates, fats, and protein. So you don't have to scan a barcode, or you don't have to do manually enter something in. So maybe you're looking up something on a restaurant's website, or maybe you just ate something and you don't have the package barcode to scan in. You could just do a quick add here and just add it to whatever meal you'd like, and then add in the calories, carbohydrates, fats, or protein. Okay, so that is really cool. Or on the quick tools feature, I love this feature. So maybe I eat, this is my overnight oats recipe that I eat. I'm eating it all week long this week. What I can do is I can create a meal out of this. So maybe this meal is going to be the same meal for the next 7 days. I can say, remember this meal, and I already have it in here, but I could say it's my overnight oats, right? And I could save the meal, so that way when I go to add it in, I just go add food, and I go to meals, and it's under there. There's my overnight oats, and I just add it in. And so then it's added in for me. I don't have to enter in everything that I ate for that breakfast, because maybe I eat the same breakfast all the time. Now it's just saved as a quick meal for me to do it, which just, really just saves the workload off of me from having to enter it in, and just save some time, so that logging my food or keeping a food diary doesn't seem like a second job. Okay, so a really cool feature there. Then the other thing is like copy from yesterday, copy from a certain date, or copy to a certain date. So maybe I want to take this meal and copy it to tomorrow. I could. Or I could copy it to April 5th or April 6th. So this quick tools feature is really cool and can save you a lot of time. Under food, they also have a database, so you can look up nutritional details of things. So maybe you want to look up chicken. Okay, so we'll just type in chicken here. And you can see that anything that mentions chicken is going to come into play here. Now, what I want to point out here is the things that have the green check mark around them have been, the accuracy of the nutritional label has been verified by MyFitnessPal, okay? So you can trust these. So if you want to learn more about that, it says, what does the check mark mean? When MyFitnessPal believes a food listing in its database has complete nutrition information, it is marked with a checkbox. These are the foods that you guys want to be selecting, okay? Because if you get in here and somebody posted up something, say chicken, right? Well, somebody could come in here and put in chicken, and the nutritional value could be completely off, right? So you could see that they input it in as chicken, and the calories are 190, but it could be missing fat, it could be missing fiber, it could be, the protein could be off. Something could be off about this entry, okay? And that's the bad thing about a public database, is you can't always assume that it's 100% accurate. So what you want to look for is, if you do have to search for something, that you search for that green checkbox, because you can be a little bit more assured that MyFitnessPal has verified its accuracy to the best that they can, okay? So then under My Food, there's My Foods, which I already showed you. You can add in your own foods right here. So you could create your own personal foods. So maybe you eat the same type of yogurt, or the same type of granola, or the same type of, berry, or anything. It's the same of whatever you eat. You could add it in here. So again, it's just a quick feature for you that you could just go to My Foods and boom, pull up that certain brand of strawberries you buy, or the certain brand of granola that you buy, or the certain brand of yogurts that you buy. You can just pull it up. And the same thing with My Meals. is you could really take the time when you put things into your diary to save your favorite meals into MyFitnessPal. So when you go to enter them, it's just a shortcut for you and just saves you time and makes keeping a food diary a lot easier. And then you can add things into recipes. So I have a lot of recipes in here, the things that I like to make. And then there's also recipes that we make for the website that we will add into MyFitnessPal as well. So say you found a recipe on veryfit.com. As long as it's an open recipe, you could add it in here. So the nut and crackers is an open recipe. If our recipes have the little pink star in the corner, that means that they are locked down and they are for members of the website or private coaching clients only. But if it's an open recipe, you could import it in to your MyFitnessPal and save it to make it, right? So what you would want to do is import it in and then match your ingredients. So it matched the hummus. So I got my green check mark there. So it matched it, gave me the nutritional details. But the nutcrackers, it didn't. In this case, I used nut thins, and I actually used the artisan nut thins, which I don't know if it will find it, but we'll see. And it did. I used the Asiago cheese ones, and the recipe calls for 13. But say, I'm 4 years out, so I can eat a little bit more. Maybe you're only a year out, and you can only eat 6 crackers and 2 tablespoons of hummus. You could put that in there. So you would just want to adjust the recipe to 6 crackers. And you can see that a serving size on this is 13 crackers, or they break it down by cracker, which is awesome. And then they also have it by container, which is 64, or by grams. In this case, it's each. So I'm going to go by crackers, and then I'm going to go ahead and save this by clicking the checkbox, okay? So now you have the recipe saved, but you've modified it to what you can consume. So now if you like to eat, the nutcrackers and hummus, this recipe is saved under your recipes, and you can now in your diary select it from recipes. And now settings, you guys, it does overlap again into my home where I showed you my home settings. They all overlap. But from my food, this is where you're going to change the look and feel of your diary. So if you go to the food tab and you go to settings, this is where you can change your nutrients that you want tracked, which should be protein, carbs, fat, sugar, and fiber. You can switch between grams and percentages. Since I pay for premium, I get this option. But if you don't pay for premium, then you don't get this option. I can default the view, the add food view to frequent or my foods, meals, recipes. In my case, I like to use my frequent ones. But if I took the time and added all my favorite foods into my foods, then what I would want to do is default that view to my foods. And then this is where you could name your meals. So say instead of meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I wanted to say breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack 1, 2, 3, I could. This is where you can also go in and turn off the calorie adjustments that you get when you do exercise, and it loads in from your Fitbit. In my case, I don't like anything adjusting my macros unless it's me. So I have opted to turn the calorie adjustments off, which is again a benefit of having the premium version of MyFitnessPal, which I think is $50 a month. I mean a year, which is worth it to me to do that. But a lot, you don't have to do this. But for me, it makes my life a little bit easier just paying the $50 a year and being able to customize MyFitnessPal to how I like it. And then this is where you can turn on your diary sharing. You could set your diary sharing to private, public, friends only, or locked with a key. Okay? Your exercise, you can log in your exercise if you'd like to. So you can add in your exercise and you can search their database. Here is some of the exercises that I have done that automatically pop in. So the strength training, the less meals, circuit training. This is stuff that has also popped in from my Polar Watch. Quick tools, again, you can copy from yesterday. So maybe you do the same class every Tuesday. You could copy from a certain date. Just makes your life a little bit easier versus just having to go and find it again. And then the same with strength training. You could add in their exercise, and they have an extensive database. So you could search, bicep curls, and it will pop in. Oops, it's not finding it. Let me go back here. So you could search our database by name. So let's see here. So bicep curls is not popping in. But you can add it into the database, or let's go back here. I'm just going to go back to add an exercise. You can search it by name, add in your most recently used strength training exercise. So maybe I want to look up cardio or swimming. It should be popping in. So I'm not quite sure why. It's not, because that's my diary. That's why. I actually don't have anything stored in my diary for exercise. So I want to come over to their database. So that was my diary. Now I want to go into my FitnessPal's diary. So I can look, and as you guys can see, they have an extensive database for exercise that you can look things up with. Okay. So you guys can, spend all the time in the world looking up. So they have tricep push downs, pull downs, so all sorts of activity that you can add in. And then there's my exercises, which I don't have any because with BerryFit, we actually have our own mobile app that we use to record all of our exercises. And then again, they have the settings feature that kicks you back to the same one that's under My Food. Okay. So the next thing I want to show you is reports. And then the rest is just like the apps that you can sync to MyFitnessPal, like your Fitbit or your Polar or your Withing scale. You can sync all of those to MyFitnessPal. They have a whole community that you can interact with. They have all of their blog posts. You can shop Under Armour, or here's their premium version that you can check out all the great benefits. Okay. But the last section that I want to cover with you is the reports, okay? So under reports, you can pull up the reports for the last 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, 180 days, or last year. And you can pull it up by weight, your neck, your waist, your hips, your net calories, carbs, protein, fats, etc. Fitness, your calories burned, your exercise minutes. So huge list here that you can pull from. But this is one of the most underutilized aspects of MyFitnessPal that I believe. You can actually go in here when you have your follow-up doctor appointments. You can go in here pre-op or post-op, and you can pull your report, and you can say, okay, let me pull up the report from my doctor from the last 90 or 180 days. You can pull up your weight for the last 90 days, and you can print that out and give it to your doctor. You can print out your waist measurement, your neck, your hips, your calories, and you could put together a nice little packet, and you could give your doctor or your nutritionist or your dietitian at your next appointment. So what you would do is select it, and then you would export it, and it's going to export it to a CSV file, and you can print it out. I have a Mac, so it automatically downloads it for me, or I can have it sent to my email address. So again, this is like a really underutilized aspect of MyFitnessPal that you could do for your doctor. I mean, how great would it be to go to your 6-month appointment and you have the last 6 months history of the calories that you've consumed on a weekly basis, your weight on a weekly basis, and you could put together a nice little 5 or 6 page report to give to your doctor that they could overlook it and then set, your next set of goals for you, or they could put it in your chart and keep track of that, right? So this is a huge benefit that I would really recommend that you explore and, you play with before your next doctor's appointment. So this is MyFitnessPal. I'm not going to cover the rest of these because they're just the apps that you can link, or the community, the blog, shopping, and then their premium features. So these 4 tabs are the most important tabs in MyFitnessPal, and I would highly encourage you to log into your MyFitnessPal on the computer and get comfortable with the various settings and the various tabs, and then also to do the same thing on the mobile application as well, and get really comfortable using MyFitnessPal with all of the quick tools that they offer you and the benefits and features that are used to make your life a lot easier when keeping a food diary and accuracy in your journey. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at berryfit.com. That's www.berryfit.com. My name is Tasha and I am the founder. You can also find my information as well as a free consultation online at our website, or message me if you have any questions. Thank you.